Hello everyone, Tech1421 here. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon TCG Online. I got a gameplay of one of the most amazing decks right now. I'm having such a fun time playing it, which is, you may be able to tell by the title of the video, Greninja, Miltank, Kingdra. And primarily, the main attacker in this deck is going to be the Miltank, but in this one, things went a little different in this game. You'll see things kind of didn't plan out as I expected and how they're supposed to on paper, but it was still a really fun game, and I thought I would showcase this one just to show you how it works against a bit of a dark deck. And he has the Pikachu, so he probably has a Raichu in there too, but you're probably going to expect the Yeti, the Darkrai, the Pikachu, and I'm just going to pass. Next turn I can get the Kingdra out there, and things can start getting rolling. I don't have any of my Froakies out there yet, but that's okay. He's going to poison me, and this deck was brought to me by my good friend Mike, aka Fizzy Stardust on the old YouTube. So he's a pretty cool guy, really cool channel if you want to check it out, and he does some awesome stuff. And he's a really good battler too, and knows a lot about Pokemon. I am going to be starting a podcast with him soon. If you're listening to this, Mike, we need to get on that. But yeah. So he did put the muscle band on his Pikachu. Not 100% sure why he would do that, to be honest. And Jirachi is Greninja's best friend to play against in one of these decks, because all you have to do is water Shuriken 3 times, and it's dead. You get 2 prizes. Or you can also use, a numerous amount of abilities and other techniques to get it set up. But I am just going to go for the Ultra Ball, and I'm going to put 2 water energies into the discard. It's looking like I'm going to have to attack with Kingdra this game. And Kingdra's ability, as we'll see, it has 2 attacks, and they're 2 really amazing attacks for this deck. Now, if it was like 2 different cards that had those 2 different attacks, then you might want to think about running those 2 cards, but it's 2 attacks built into one for the same energy, which makes it that much just amazing to be able to play that. I'm going to attach another water to Miltank, and I'm going to be able, actually I'm not, yes I am going to be able to get the knockout, because he did not evolve, well he didn't have the option to evolve yet into his Raichu. So 80 damage with, I forget the name of the move, but it's like Powerful Friends, I think it's called. And yeah, Powerful Friends, it does 10 damage plus 70 if you have a Stage 2 out there, which is why I went for the Kingdra, so I get that Stage 2 out there. I get the early prizes. And this deck in this particular game was a little incomplete. I was running a 4-2-3 line of Greninja because I don't have a 4th one. I still don't have a 4th one when I'm doing the commentary. Hope to have a 4th one soon, because normally you want to run like a 4-2-4, even like a 4-3-4, to be honest. And then you run 4 Miltanks. I was only running 3. I liked 3. I don't think you really need 4. I seem to get them enough. And it's a little unfortunate. It's kind of a two-edged sword, if that makes sense, where I really want to do, I want to have Miltank have 90 HP to be able to get it from Level Ball, but it has 100, so it's good that it has that extra 10 HP, and sometimes it does matter with certain attacks, like for instance Darkrai. If it doesn't have a muscle band on there, it's only going to be doing 90, so that's really awesome. It doesn't get the kill, but in certain situations you want to be, getting that Miltank from the Level Ball. Now, I'm going to be able to get my little Froakie out here for the first time. You can see Froakie. There's a better Froakie out there that has 60 HP. I only have the ones that have 50 HP. So if you have the option to play the ones with 60, definitely play those. The attack doesn't really matter on them. You want to have more HP for certain situations. Now, I am going to use the... I forget the name of the attack. There's 2 different attacks. I think one's called Tri-Bolt for a water energy, and the other one's something else for a regular energy, a colorless energy. Now, the one for a colorless, what it does 20 times the amount of water and electric in your discard. And I had, I think, 6 in there, which is why it did 120 damage. And then it shuffles them back in your deck, which really helps this deck out, because you're going to water Shuriken a bunch of times. And hopefully I get to do it this game. I forget if I do or not. He is going to Lysandre, my Froakie up there, and that is going to get the knockout, which is really sad. And it's just looking like I'm not going to be able to get the knockouts with my Greninjas this game, which kind of sucks, but, you know, Miltank and Kingdra are putting in work, so it's fine. Now you see the Voltorb there on the bench. The reason why that's there is because I like to play it with an Electrode. Now I don't have Tropical Beach, so I do play a 2-2 Electrode line, and what that does is with Electrode's ability, you get to draw up to 4 cards once per turn. So that's really cool. So if you have 3 in your hand, you draw 1, and there's all my Greninjas that are all prized. So I got 2 off the prizes, which is definitely very fortunate. Now if I can top deck the Scadla, the Juniper, that'd be awesome. So we'll just have to see if that does happen. And it looks like he's powering up a Darkrai, which is a little scary, but I can handle it at this point. I'm up 3 prizes to, he's taken 2, so that's nice there. But he does have the Bouffalant. Now, I'm not sure why he's playing the Bouffalant in this certain situation. He might as well just attach that to something else, like a Landorus or something. I guess he didn't have that many options when he advanced it into the active, but we'll just have to see what he does with that Bouffalant, because I don't play any X's, so he's not going to be doing 120 damage. And for the most part, a lot of my things are beyond the 100s if they do get into the, if they do evolve and stuff like that, as well as Miltank's 100 damage. So I don't know why past that, but that's, it is what it is. Now you see another Pikachu up there, and if he does have a full bench, his Raichu is going to be doing 100 damage, and that is going to knock out a Miltank. But he can't do that this turn. Maybe next turn if he gets the DCE, he might be able to, and if he can like retreat with Darkrai or something like that, he might be able to do that. But just checking out his discard, he is going a little slow here, and I see that he's played 2 Dark Patches. He does get the Raichu, and I'm having a little bit of a drought here as far as the supporters go, which is a little unfortunate. I do get the what is it, Frogadier, I think is the second evolution. So that's nice, and I'm going to attach another water to my Miltank, and then I'm just going to Powerful Friends for what will do 60 damage because of Bouffalant's ability. So that's nice. Later on, I could eventually try to get the knockout there. All I would need to do is use a combination of either 2 Water Shurikens, or I could use Tri-Bullet on Kingdra. So a combination of the 2 there will definitely help me out. Now he's probably going to send out Landorus here, because I am weak to fighting, and then he can also snipe onto the bench, which he does do that, and he's actually going to be able to get the knockout, I think? Yes, thanks to his special little, whatever that thing's called, I always forget it. And now I'm looking at Bouffalant here, his Bouffer ability, to see if it's just attacks or if it's abilities too. So it is just attacks. So I forget who I send up. I think I might send up, okay, send up him. I send up Frogadier. Now I'm going to be able to evolve into my first Greninja of the game, which is a relief to get that, which is nice. And now I have to decide what I want to do, because I think I misplayed here, because I thought that I didn't realize Greninja's ability or his attack isn't affected by weakness or resistance. It just does a straight 50 no matter what. So I am going to be able to Water Shuriken something. Now, that something, we'll see what it is. And that does 30 damage. You discard a water from your hand and do 30 damage. I'm going to decide to do that onto the Bouffalant. And next turn, what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to, or later in the game, I'll be able to either Water Shuriken for the knockout, or I'll be able to Tri-Bullet for the knockout. So a lot of different things there. And what I really like about this deck too is you have the ability. I like decks that are able to, and I'm checking out the ability and they're like, why did it only do 50? And it's because it's not affected by resistance or weakness. So it just does a straight 50 damage, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. If it does a straight 50, I'd like to see it do more, because it is a stage 2. Now the ability is great and it does function really well with this deck, but I would like to see it do more, like, maybe 70 or 60, because there are a lot of Pokemon out there that have 60 HP, just like basic Pokemon, like Pikachu, for example, and some Froakies, and a bunch of stuff out there that has 60. So 50 is nice and all, but I'd like to see it do a little more damage. As I was saying, and I forget what I was saying, I like decks. Now I remember. I like decks that are able to do things like take prizes in the middle of turn. And this deck is able to do that. And I probably should play a whatever, the town map thing, because that'd be nice. It would be nice one-of card to see my prizes, but I'm not. I don't do that. So he is going to do 90, and then he's going to do 100, which does perfectly knock me out. I didn't realize that he played lasers, so that is really unfortunate there. So my Greninja does go down. He does end me, which is really fantastic because I was in a huge supporter drought there. So yeah, just, you know, this is one of those times where it's like, you know, Greninja's not really getting it all done, but I'm doing pretty good with Kingdra and Miltank. So I guess it's just kind of cool to showcase a game where things don't always go the way you want them to, but I'm just working with the situations and working with what I got in this deck. So I'm debating whether to put up Miltank or put up Kingdra. Kingdra has 1 retreat cost, Miltank has 2. So I guess I am going to put up the Miltank. And now what I can do here is and I'm not sure how much I have in the discard there, how many waters I have in the discard. I'll look in a second. But what I can essentially do is attach to Miltank, and then I could retreat with Miltank, putting 2 more energies in the discard, and that does 40 more damage. Now I have to wait to see how much energy is actually in the discard, but I could essentially set up a tri-bullet for next turn to get, you know, 3 knockouts, or 3 prizes at least. So I have to kind of see what I want to do, and I'm actually going to Lysander up the Jirachi here, which is probably the best play I could make in this situation. And I'm going to do the 80, and I choose not to attach anything that turn because I might need it for the Colress, or not the Dowsing Machine next turn if I need to discard something and then N to get more cards. And now he has to actually attach, manually attach and retreat. So he can't find the dark energy to, but he probably, you know, doesn't really want to waste the dark energy anyways. So he does get the Jirachi out of the active, but that's perfectly fine. I'm really okay with Miltank dying here because I'm going to win next turn from the tri-bullet because I could do the 30 damage onto Bouffalant, and it's going to be resisted by 20, but he has 90 damage on him right now. And I finally find the Electrode as well. I'm going to Dowsing Machine, probably for a Juniper. I just want to see how the deck plays out for future references. I do have game right now if I were to attack, but I would just like to see, you know, what I can do in this situation. So I probably am going to get the Juniper, maybe just the Shauna, just because I could Electrode. And now I'm going to go ahead and put down the Horsey, and now you know, just tri-bullet for the knockouts. So I'm going to do the 10 damage to the Bouffalant to get the knockout, and I guess I have to pick 3 Pokemon. So I get the 10 damage there, the 30 damage onto Landorus, which doesn't matter, and then the 30 damage onto the Jirachi. So if you are playing a Kingdra deck and my opponent says GG, I'm going to say GG back. That was a good game, and you can see the Wheel of Fortune there got me a tournament ticket, but I haven't been able to play any tournaments. I don't know if it's down or what, but I really would like to, you know, try that out. And you can see the game log and the stats are pretty awesome there. Kingdra was my MVP of that one, and it didn't play out the way I wanted it to this game. The deck didn't play out the way I wanted to. I didn't get any Greninjas. I only got 1 Greninja up there. I am only playing a 4-2-3 line. If in the future I play a 4-2-4 line, I can get him out pretty easier. But to be honest, I didn't really get the Froakies out there either. So that was a pretty fun game. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you are playing against Greninja Kingdra, do not put down the Jirachi. It's only you're only gonna get into problems there. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see everyone later. Peace.